Oh, that's a terrible looking stream. That thing's spraying whiter than me at 3 a.m. Warning, we're just having fun. If you take stuff too serious, this channel may not be for you, buddy. What in the beanie weenie we got going on here? I like beans. I don't care if they're green, refried, pano, home style, smoked, barbecue. Why are we still talking about beans? More than beans, I like trucks, especially free trucks. And that's what we got here. So you can see behind me, we kind of have what's left over of a 1980 long bed C10 that I'm gonna call the free 10, because like I said, long story short, I had a guy watch his channel get a hold of me. They said, hey, this thing's been sitting since like 98 out in the field. I bought it. I got what I need off of it. If you want the rest, you can have it for the channel. Do I want a free truck? Well, does a raccoon look like he's ready to rob a bank? I think so. I'm on my way, buddy. So here's what we mean by a piece of a truck, because this is what's left of it. But it's free, and I like free. I can afford it. Effing Chevy poo-poo. Give it the beans. And you know, a good friendly game of tic-tac-toe. I love it. Thanks, PJ.
Hey, no problem.
We got police blocking for us. Yeah. That was the narrowest gate to try to back through. Got me sweating a little bit. Some dummy just has little 3-inch mirrors on here that you can't see diddly out of. Luckily, we had some police help.
What was it playing?
Someone played tic-tac-toe on it. We ain't gonna worry about the rest of the words. Boy, it is starting to look like a used car lot around here. Someone needs to sell something. Ooh-wee! Come on down to Put Us Park It and Market. We're always putting money in our pocket and putting junk in your driveway. Hot damn, what the tarnation? Put Us Park It and Market got its first donation. This baby is this week's PJ special. Free trucks get me grinning like a shit-eating possum. Let's check out some of this baby's premium options. Now up front, we got 2 barrels full of ass whip on this 305. That's right. 5 screaming liters is perfect for any tire beater eater. Throw her an RV cam and a set of long tubes and she'll bust a move like the electric boogaloo. No floors? No problem. No front clip? No problem. No junk in the trunk? No problem. No doors? No problem. This baby here is the definition of weight reduction. The 3 on the tree won't allow no granny shifting, just double clutching. Everyone knows brakes is for quitters. This thing's empty like me after sitting on the shitter. With a good set of Uniroyal Laredas, we put more power to the ground than a piss tornado. We may part her out, we may sell her whole. Hell, at this point, I just don't know. If you like what you see and you got deep pockets, come see me at Put Us Park It and Market. And don't forget, if someone got a deal and it's a good one, chances are they dealt with pudding here at Put Us Park It and Market. So besides it actually having a pretty straight bed on it, right here you can see it's got an engine, it's got wheels and tires. That's enough for me to be interested. So let's do a quick walk around of the old free 10 and see what we're working with here. Show me what you're working with. Now the old cab ain't perfect. It did have some rust in it. You can see there in the corner. Little down here. Up here on the floorboards you can see some rust going on. And other than that, there ain't a whole lot left of the old interior. PJ did a pretty good job of stripping her down. He did leave us a nice little set of visors actually. And I think he may have been trying to send a message with that, because as soon as I seen how he cut out those floors, all I could picture was that, which ain't very nice, I may say or add. Now other than the bed being rated M for mature audiences, old bed's actually pretty darn straight. No tail lights, no bumper, no tailgate, but decent long bed. Candidate for a short bed cut down if someone wanted. Or I guess if someone just needed a decent long bed. She may have had a rat or 2 living in her for a while. We do have matching wheels, tires, and caps all the way around. Pretty happy about that. The exhaust don't look rusted off, which is surprising. Maybe we got a good rear end here. Up front, small block Chevy. I'm just gonna assume she's a 305. Looks like we got a custom distributor in her. Looks like we've got some Pot County camouflage on it. And if y'all don't know what Pot County camouflage is, I can tell you real quick. So a lot of small block Chevys around here know they're fixing to get rednecked. So they've actually developed in a way where they will camouflage themselves, try to throw dirt and stuff to scare people away. That way they avoid going in stuff like, you know, 3rd gen Camaros and stuff like that. Pretty advanced around here. Looks like most of our plug wires are there. Air breather, little factory jack action. They stripped down a little bit off the front, it looks like. Or a lot of bit. Over here looks about as equally good. Looks like we're a bolt away from getting this fender well out. Might have to sell some fender wells, who knows? So stuff like oil caps not being, you know, even the right one and just kind of sitting there, and dipsticks not being closed all the way can eventually add up, and you end up with some, you know, water in your oil, which maybe you can tell. But it's also not the worst looking oil I've ever seen. It's good enough to start on. And I don't really know why we're doing a will it run on a Chevrolet, because everyone's gonna know it'll run. If this was a Ford or something, you know, that'd be a different video. And I still like Fords, all right? We don't need no darn heat shield. The carburetor don't look that old. Even those bolts are fresh looking, new. I'm wondering if they put a carburetor on it right before they got her parked, because that thing actually looks pretty good. In fact, let's get all this junk off this thing. Little grindage up there. I don't know what in the spark show's going on here, but we start slapping that around with a positive hooked up, we'll know it. Since we're dealing with a Chevrolet, more or less I'm gonna call it like I see it. We need like 3 things here: distributor, battery, some fuel. Like I said, Chevrolets, they actually like running, people. I don't know if we want to get rid of this whole, that's custom. I mean, how many people got a Quaker Steak Dizzy? Not a lot. If we're gonna keep doing these willet runs, I need to get a battery for it, so we gotta quit pimping out the Travelall. Speaking of old Edna here, she could use a bath because she's a dirty old thing right now. Give her the beans. Ooh, how about I give her the Superstar Platinum AGM? And then how about I give her a proper Oklahoma installation? Got those pretty tight. Out here I don't see no smoke, which is good. I always like to look for smoke after hooking up a battery in something like this. And underneath here I think we're all right too. So no smoke show this time. There's a few reasons you want to check for smoke. 1, all the Uncle Jebs out there. Uncle Jeb done wired in his tack. He wired in his CB radio, you know. He wired in his boom boom amp kit, so he can beat down the block in the trailer park, and he did a crappy job, and now you got a smoke show on your hand. 2, people been stripping stuff off there. So a lot of junkyards do it, and hell, even I do it when I'm stripping some stuff down. A lot of times it's easier to cut wires than it is to fight that connection that's been on there for, you know, 40 years. That truck's 40 years old. Had to do the math. So wires get cut. Well, again, smoke show. And then 2, actually, this would be 3, you know, mice. I don't know what it is about the wiring. Those little bastards just really seem to enjoy it. Since I got a battery in the old FREE10, let's see if I can't rig us up a wire where we can start this thing. Since I ain't got 19 hands. Through the firewall she goes. So in here, right there, we got a pretty good giveaway. That's classic Oklahoma. Piece of solid core bypassing our neutral safety switch. I didn't even know this thing's came with neutral safety switches, to be honest. And then you see a purple wire. Another good indication we're going down to our starter solenoid. So we're going to take our orange wire, strip it, and twist it to our purple wire. About like so. So when you do the old twist wire together trick, clockwise actually creates less resistance than counterclockwise. Believe it or not. Don't believe that. You know what? Let me get this damn thing out of my way. One bolt. I like it. Overall, that fender well's in pretty good shape. She is starting to make a little bit of frosted flakes here, but I've seen a hell of a lot worse in my day. Our old 12-volt stud here. Get us some fresh metal on the end where we can just touch that wire to there and hopefully crank this free 10 over. Now, like I said, since this is a Chevrolet, as long as I did everything right, hooking up the battery and a jumper wire, this thing's fixing to crank over. But we already know that. I mean, who's really surprised? I'm actually a little surprised I didn't have to smack on that thing with a hammer or something. Maybe if I keep talking crap throughout the video, it'll just go flawless. Huh? This thing's got more crank than a tweaker after a good night of scoring trailers. We've got a battery in her. We've got her cranking over. Next thing we need to do is stick a distributor in her. To put a distributor in this old girl, we're gonna pull number 1 plug, sit there and bump it over till we hit compression stroke, and she shoots out the old finger plugger. Yeah. I really wish people would quit torquing these things to SOB. Now I understand that that thing's been sitting forever, so that may be why it was so damn tight, you know, rust and everything. But people still torque stuff to SOB. If you don't know what SOB is, it's when you got to pull on it so damn hard that your elbow pops and then you yell SOB. It's not necessary. Oh, AC Delco doesn't even look bad. Not to me. I'm not no expert at reading plugs, so I'm not going to act like I am. So we're going to put the old finger plugger in there and pop this baby around till she hits on compression stroke. There it went. A little bit of gunk and water. I really didn't want to pull spark plugs on this thing. I think we'll go ahead and pull the plugs, shoot out any water that may be in there, and then lube them with something, you know. It's been a while since she's had any lubrication sensation in her life. Get that spaghetti out of her way. Owie! Oh. Ow. I just knocked the dog piss out of that thumb. That made snot come out of my nose. This one you can tell just has muddy water in it. So probably not a bad idea to get these out and lube them down in there. That poor thumb. Got all the plugs out of the passenger side, and number 2 here was actually a decent looking plug, other than she looks like she was trying to cross thread. I did manage to snap that puppy, so I'm sure we can find another one. The rest of them pretty rusty looking. I don't know how much it's gonna help, if at all, but before I crank this over anymore, even if there is water in there, I'm gonna give her a little shot of PB Blaster. Y'all know I don't get too picky on what I spray on stuff. And I like a little bit of spray on everything. This old carburetor. We can get her lubing too. Maybe. I think the PB Blast just retired. You mess around with me, I'll go right to your competitor. Let's see what the old beanie weenie's got. Yeah. It's got some water. I think we should have left it and tried to start it just to keep going with it's the Chevrolet she wants to start. None of this stuff really looks that dirty. When we did pick it up, we had to just throw the hood on the back, so I'm wondering if we just didn't get some of that fresh snow in her. One of my videos, someone commented and said, why would anyone use WD-40? It's like 90% water. To that, I'd have two quick answers. One, because it works, and two, because it was free. Look at that can. Does it look like I bought that? I found that in my Dodson trailer down at my dad's house. And I shouldn't have told on myself, because now he's gonna be like, I went down there the other day, even though I put it there 12 years ago, because now I needed it. So basically, my ass is grass and he's a lawnmower. Do you see how big that is? Just because you say oil, don't mean you fit wherever oil goes, all right? Now I want to top her off with some fresh oil, but I don't really want to open up a big jug of my good stuff. I think I'll run up to the dollar store real quick. Maybe I'll take Mama to get some Mexican if she ain't ate yet. Do you have any idea how cool you look driving one of these? Mama already ate lunch, so I settled for a burger and a grape snow cone. Damned old temperature's dropping out here. Getting chilly. Top her off with a little fresh oil here. The Family Dollar special. I can't add anything to a motor without thinking of the neutral drop guys. If y'all have not seen them, they are absolutely crazy. Gorilla Glue, Flex Seal, BBs, milk, you name it, they've put it in the engine and send it to the moon. Get over here!
Get over here and get the close-up!
Hands down, favorite one is when they break that little Nissan in half. And they've got it like a dog trying to hump and walk at the same time. That crap was killing me. Let's get her on compression stroke. There we go. Maybe you can see the mark on the balancer and our indicator. I don't know. Maybe you can't. Get on out of here. Get her spun around till we can see her in the old, whatever the hell that tube is. Should be perfect. Well, as you can see, I've got a good HEI here. And obviously I say good loosely. This was in my truck. It would periodically have problems and I pulled it out. So earlier when I was pulling this out of the bin, the cover wasn't screwed on. And I noticed that red wire, though it looked like it was connected, it was barely touching. And I'm wondering if that wasn't part of my problem I was having out of this thing. Old red wire was a little short to reach, so I boogered up all this and soldered it together, and well, now we can just run a single wire here to get her 12 volt hot. Why can't I talk? And like I've been saying, it don't really matter if this is rigged up because it's a Chevrolet. It wants to run. That thing had better propulsion than North Korea testing rockets. So number one at top dead center, we're gonna try to aim this towards number one and see if we can't get her stabbed in there. Here, Bill, you gonna stand there and watch me hold that camera. And you ain't getting paid unless you want a 1099 at the end of the year.
Government don't even know who I am.
May not ever turn just quite right. There she went. She went that time. They're pointing pretty decent. Not shabby.
Good enough for a shabby.
Yeah. You always want to make sure these aren't turned in, because if you're on something tight fitting, that'll piss you off plumb quick. Finally get it wiggled in there and then you're going, hey, that don't fit quite right. Yep. because one of those little tricky bastards turned on you. That's a custom curve tip. I shit you not, the other day I asked Ashley, I said, I think Bill died. Well, I guess that ain't really asking. I guess that's a statement. I told her, I said, I think Bill died. And then boom, next day, here you are. Boy, that'd go on a lot better with a regular screwdriver instead of this custom curve tip. Let me get one of them. I mean, my wife was happy to see you. She ain't happy to see nobody.
She must have been in a good mood.
Yeah, she's always in a good mood. You know, between all the trucks and junk I drag home, it just keeps her happy. Plug this in. Safety first. Found the old distributor clamp, so we're gonna wire wheel her down and give her some fresh metal to ground good. I'd hate to half-ass it. It's lucky it's even getting a clamp. We could let her vibrate and spin around and self-time herself. Self-time herself? That's just redundant. Alrighty. Don't worry about vacuum. Yeah, not right now, we're not. Now remember what I said about twisting wires together and which way creates less resistance. We may even give this baby a little electrical tape. And maybe a little tape on here. And we definitely want to tape up this quality solder joint. Now we can take her to a hot post and we got a hot coil and we're good to go. We're just gonna give these plugs the yellow hose special and reinstall them. Believe it or not, I could not find an extra spark plug around here. So Gertrude was nice enough to donate one and let us borrow it. I guess not donate it. She said I gotta give it back. Some of you YouTube fans are too hardcore for me, damn it. And what I mean by that is, look at this piece of junk. And we're doing a wheel it run and the floors are gone and Bill's on camera, so now the FBI is gonna finally catch him. And by the end of it, someone's gonna be mad that we just threw a distributor in it and the engine bay don't look like this. They're like our old Datsun back there. A week later, and the engine bay don't look like this from people suggesting I ALS swap it or something, and I'm losing subscribers. The hell? I'm just playing with y'all. Now we got all the plugs in there and they're tightened up. So now we gotta see if we have enough plug wires. I think we're one short. We are a plug wire short. I'm not gonna pull a plug wire off the truck because I'm not gonna cut my zip ties. I do have the plug wire for a point style distributor. I know for a fact all the other fellow Okies know a small block Chevy firing order as pre-programmed into our DNA. We're just born with it. Believe it or not, my legal birth name is Jacob 1843657 Warner, born and raised on Rattlesnake Hill Road. That's a fact. Since we got one good spark plug, we just need her to bust off and she'll carry the weight. And I think we're gonna let this one be lucky number 7. And like I said, we'll just kind of pinch her down. We'll try to avoid that area so we don't gotta ride the lightning. And she'll run. Top quality stuff. You can see here we got the specialty edition angle cut boot. These were a specialty wire. I didn't even know you could find them anymore. Right now would be a really good time to check for spark if you were worried about not getting spark. But because I'm fairly certain that distributor is going to work, because I think I found the problem with that broke wire, and shit the bed. I can't believe I didn't see that before. So a lot of people know about the 305 HO, but not a lot of people know about the 305 H2O, and I think that's what we have right here. Now the 305 HO, other than some made up war stories of them allegedly outrunning highway patrols and the kind of stories you'll hear, pretty much boat anchors. But the 305 H2O that a lot of people don't know about, these things would flat out run. Underneath the hood, 2 dead giveaways. Water injection tank with the pickup hose, and water injection hose to the 2-barrel carburetor. The water would actually inject into the motor. Now when it was in there, it helped vaporize the fuel for higher combustion, and also it would clean out the combustion chambers from the water, keeping it for a smoother surface, allowing more flow through the engine and more horsepower. Inside the cab, dead giveaway every time, is the instrument cluster. It should have a speedo that'll go to 140, I think, if I remember right. Okay, so the instrument cluster is gone, but obviously that's a pretty rare part, so I probably would have took it too. That does look like the proper speedo cable though. Now right now we just want to get this thing running. We're really not worried about the water injection system. Gonna hydrate some, and I'm also gonna wet down the camouflage just so we don't have a fire. Well, H2O won't hurt at H2O 305, so only you can prevent forest fires. Right here I got a bottle of some Get Her Done 91. Now I know I was calling this thing the Free 10, but because of the Give It the Beans on the bed, I kind of want to call it Beanie Weenie. Broken spark plugs work good for holding choke open. Safety goggles work good for protecting your eyes from flying shrapnel. Maybe if we have a backfire. All right, not so good at protecting the eyebrows. But have you seen these caterpillars? If I lose those things, they'll grow back in 2 days. We're gonna give her a fat old shot of some Get Her Done 91 and see if she won't bust off. Oh, that's a terrible looking stream. That thing's spraying whiter than me at 3 a.m. Oop. Hook up our coil wire real quick. A little more fuel never hurt. It's time to screamy Beanie Weenie. It's time to screamy Beanie Weenie. We're getting a little somewhere. See how we do there. Let me tighten down this old shaking bastard. Well, we got her to run. I'm out of range of motion with this distributor. We can take off our safety goggles and turn off high-speed, low-drag mode. Let's check the oil. I think that milkshake would bring all the boys to the yard. I think it's safe to say there's some water settling down in the oil. Looks like the old exhaust had more stuffing than Thanksgiving. Probably the first time you'll ever actually see my eyeballs, huh? Yeah, that fired up a little easier that time. So I re-stabbed this, basically because of this and this. The vacuum advance limits how much I can move this thing around. So I re-stabbed it, and as you can tell, it's a little better now. It fired right on up. I'm gonna let the battery charge a little bit, and I kind of have an idea. Now, I don't want to pay for an oil change in that thing, but I do keep my old used oil, and I change it every 3,000 to 5,000 depending on which vehicle. So I do have some used oil we can put in there, which is better than milkshake. All right, let's see what we got here. What mystery awaits us from the oil pan? Ooh, that looks like a large mocha latte. I don't know coffee, so I don't know if that's right. It's called what?
It's a matcha latte.
A matcha latte?
Yeah.
You and your mama been going to Starbucks?
Yeah, and I buy hot chocolate.
You buy hot chocolate?
Yeah, and it looks like coffee. So
Oh, well, you ain't allowed to have coffee or tea. When that old oil was draining, I tried to rig up a quick little fuel system here. I cut that, just a little inline fuel pump. I did take that vacuum hose right to this one. I threw a couple plugs on there, but I'm still not getting fuel out of the carburetor when the fuel pump's on. I did take the old hammer and give her love taps all over, and just mess with that carburetor. No matter what I do right now, we're not getting fuel out of it. Give her the beat! Well, that's all the beans we got to give her. Let's check the oil. And it really don't look bad. Y'all don't think there's any chance that radiator leaked anywhere, do you? Doubtful. I think we'd really need to get it holding its own idle and get some water in it to really tell what's going on with this engine. But obviously that ain't gonna happen today. I'm running out of sunlight, and I'm about plumb tired of everything driving by. I'm done today, guys. I can't do it no more. Give her a rev. Grab a gear. I'd rather uppercut myself in the nose 20 times than try to record anymore out here, because what just took, you know, probably 8 hours to record, probably should have took about 3 hours. I think the only thing that could be worse than having to record next to this highway anymore would be having to watch some Mortske Repair. Just playing, buddy. If y'all haven't checked out Mortske Repair yet, check out his channel. He's a little more technical than me, and he talks weird. So what would y'all like to see happen to the old Free 10? You know, easy to keep parting it out. We ain't gonna build it, okay? If someone just said build it, I'm gonna come through this YouTube video and give you a hug, because I'm not gonna say anything mean around her. That's it for this video. PJ, thanks for the truck. Anything that pertains to my channel supports me, which ultimately supports my family, so thank you. If you guys are new, think about subscribing, checking out some of the old videos. We've gone to junkyards, we've done some wheel it runs, we've got some old builds of even the Travelall. So check out some stuff. If you guys always come back, thank you guys. If you're on Instagram, I'm on there at Puddin's Fab Shop, and I will see you guys next time. But don't forget, sitting on your ass won't finish your project. These boxes had new wheels in them. The new wheels are mounted on those tires. You may notice those things are a little mean looking. I wouldn't pick no bar fight with them. So what do you think those things could be for? Drop a comment down below and let's see if anyone can guess it right.